All right. Thank you, team. Hi, everyone. So let me just introduce myself. So I am Kester, and I'm represent Asia Pacific University, located in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. All right. So I would like to share my slides to all of you. I hope you guys could able to see my slides. All right. Yeah. So let me just jump to this slides, this page. Okay. So I do understand that like a lot of students will be questioning like why I have to choose Malaysia for the studies and so on and so forth. Because a lot of students, or I would say a lot of parents who have not been traveled to Malaysia before, they will have this misunderstanding that, every people in Malaysia, every Malaysians, we are wearing hijab and we are so Muslim. It's not like that. Okay. Of course, yes, we have a majority populations are Muslim, but we do also have non-Muslim um nations as well. Like me, I'm Chinese, Malaysians as well, but I don't wear hijab. Yeah, and I still can have non-halal food as well. Yeah, so this is the ethnicities of Malaysia, and it is very multicultural and very diversity. And of course, aside on this multicultural diversity, serving halal or non-halal food, when we talk about educations in Malaysia, I would say we are in top 20 in the world. And we are also one of the speaking country as well, English speaking country as well. And of course, we have kind of good academic standards and we have quite good international recognitions. And of course, we are also offering the pathway programs for like 2+1 and 1+2. And of course, if we talk about the affordability in terms of studies and living, I would say we are still affordable of study and living among others countries as well. And of course, to deep details about APU, we are also one of the industrial pioneer in the country, and we established in 1993, and we were named as Asia Pacific Institute, and we are also initiated by the Malaysian government. And slowly, we are building up as an university status in 2012. So that's why we changed our name to Asia Pacific University, but we are still focusing on technology and innovations. So that's why until now we have like produced 85,000 of the graduates since 1994. And currently we have around 19,000 of the students, yeah, from 130 nationalities. And of course, we are not only offering technology programs, we are also offering the programs related to engineering, business, finance, and so on. That's why our graduates, they are heavily sought after by the employers. And of course, to talk about recognitions, we are also recognized locally within Malaysia as well as international. So let's say if you talk about international recognitions, we are 5 stars excellent rating by the Ministry of Higher Educations in Malaysia. And of course, we are also leading digital tech focused university as well. And this status was awarded by Malaysia Digital Economic Corporations, MDEC. And of course, by this Ministry of Higher Education as well, they have provided a statistic to us that we have 100% employability for few years. Yeah. So that's why, as you can see, we are also one of the employers' choice of universities, not only in Malaysia, even though in international as well. And of course, we are also the first Malaysia university and the only Malaysia university achieving QAA accreditations. So a lot of students and parents they may not know how important about QAA UK accreditations. When we talk about accreditations, it must be academic accredited by UK itself. So you can utilize your certificates around the European country as well as the Western countries. So in Malaysia, in APU, we are the only Malaysian university have these accreditations, and we are also on par standards with other UK universities as well. And of course, when we talk about the international recognitions, we are also into QS ranking. Yeah. So why QS ranking? Because as per everyone's understandings, QS ranking is kind of world-class recognition. So you will know like where are you right now? Yeah. So currently we are in top 600 in the world. And of course, we are ranked number 10 in the world for international students diversity. And we are also top 170 for the international faculties. And we are also 147 in Asia itself as well. And of course, if you talk about QS ranking, definitely they do have QS rating. So when we talk about QS rating, we are also in 5 stars plus in terms of teaching learning, inclusiveness, employability, facilities, and of course the academic development and so on. That's why we are kind of top in the world as well because, including APU, there are only 24 universities in the world receiving these 5 stars plus. And of course, when we talk about applied higher educations, we are also in top 20 in Asia, and we are also top 5 in ASEAN countries. And of course, if you talk about cybersecurity, this is also one of the, technology programs. Yeah. So you can see over here, we have won for 7th year best cybersecurity education provider as well by Cybersecurity Excellence Award. And of course, our School of Computing also awarded Outstanding Faculty Award in Malaysia. And we are also receiving the cybersecurity innovations under the Cybersecurity Malaysia as well. And of course, when we talk about the universities facilities, we have a proposed built campus. So of course, a lot of students will ask like, what is the purpose built campus? So we will ensure that everything is within the campus and students can be easily to engage with the faculty. So this is how internally looks like of our universities. And of course, aside on this, we do have our center point, whereby the cafeteria as well as the students' activities areas will be around our center point. And aside of this, we have our auditoriums. And of course, we have our library, our technology labs, our engineering labs as well. And of course, we do have our CAD labs, cybersecurity talent zone, XR studios, our financial trading center, industrial design workshops for industrial design students, green studios, architecture studios, postgraduate center, the cafeteria. And other than that, we have our convenience store as well as our in-house clinic. So to talk about our in-house clinic, we are kind of proud of it as well because not every of the institutions are having their own in-house clinic. Except for APU, we have it is because of we need to ensure that our new joiners, our newcomers, and they are needed to do this medical checkup. So of course, it is new for them into a new country. Am I right? So that's why we are preparing all these facilities for them so they can do everything within the campus. And of course, we have our sweat zone, which is our gym facilities, our sports facilities, and we are also providing the shuttle bus for the pickup and the drop off. And of course, we are also providing the accommodation as well. So to talk about our accommodation, basically we have 2 types. We have on-campus accommodations, we have off-campus accommodations. So to talk about on-campus accommodations, we have in single occupancy as well as twin sharing. And of course, when we talk about single occupancy, twin sharings, it is with attached bathroom and the shared pantries are provided. So we call this as ensuite types. We do also have other types as well, which we call it as dual key types. But the shared pantry and the bathroom will be shared within 4 persons. Okay, but of course, when we talk about dual keys, right? Yes, you have a shared pantry, but it is without cooking unit. So the price for dual keys will be slightly cheaper comparing to en-suite types. And of course, we have our off-campus accommodation, which is like, 10 to 20 minutes away from the campus. But not to be worried, the shuttle bus is provided for all of our APU students as well. So for our off-campus accommodation, we have it located in M Vertical, and it is only available for single occupancy. And of course, we have City of Brain, which are available for twin sharing as well as single occupancy. And of course, the last but not least will be Bloomsville, which only available for single occupancy. When we talk about the programs that offer in the university, and you can see the logos of the university, is about technology and innovations. So we always ensure that, all of the programs will have some technology infusion as well. So the students, they can really well equip for the future. But of course, not only technology, we do also ensure that students can learn all rounded knowledge areas. So that's why we need to ensure that our lecturers, they are not only qualified in terms of the education qualifications, we are also looking forward on their working experience in the industry, so they can really implement it throughout their teaching in the university. So what students are going to learn in the university in APU will be up-to-date curriculums. And of course, when we talk into the details about the programs that offered, we have it from pre-U program up to postgraduate studies. So when you talk about pre-U itself, that is only available for all levels as well as IGCSE students. So of course, we have like certificate programs, foundations, as well as diploma studies. But of course, we will also check it out, like, how's the students' result in IGCSE or O levels, and we will advise accordingly which levels of the studies that students can be applied in APU. So to make it short, the requirements for foundation will be 5 subjects with grade C and above, all right, including mathematics. Except for engineering, it requires to have engineering as well with C and above. Of course, if students does not meet the requirement of 5 credits, of course, students will have to join for diploma, because the minimum requirement for diploma will be 3 subjects with grade C and above. Of course, if they do not meet the requirement for diploma, then last options for them will be certificates. Sorry. Yeah. So for certificates, we just need at least 1 subject with grade C and above. Pass in maths will do. So they can just straight away join our certificate programs with that one particular of the subjects with a grade C and above. So to talk about bachelor degree, we have it for our School of Computing, Technology and Games Development. We have it in IT, software engineering, computer science, as well as interactive media and immersive technology, as well as computer games development. But of course, I have make it into 3 tables is because of they do have different requirement as well, especially when we talk about software engineering and computer science. Why? It's because of it requires to have applied mathematics or further mathematics. So let's say if students, they are from pure science background, whereby they are studying physics in their high school, definitely they can join for software engineering or computer science. However, if they do not have it, of course, they have to study 1 additional subjects, which we call it as prerequisite modules for further mathematics. They have to complete and pass it, then only they can continue with the bachelor degree. If not, then we will advise them to change to other degree program into IT or maybe to interactive media and immersive technologies or computer games development. For information technology, we need at least a credit in mathematics. But of course, if they have a pass, they can still join for the program, but they need to take additional subjects for mathematics as well. That is prerequisite for modern mathematics. Interactive media and immersive technology, as well as computer games development, there are not much of requirements, because as long as they have passed their mathematics, they can go for these two programs. And of course, we have our School of Engineering programs, which related to electrical and electronic engineering, mechatronic, mechanical, computer engineering, as well as petroleum engineering. And all of our engineering programs are accredited by Board of Engineers Malaysia, and it is also international recognized by Washington Accord from USA. So in other words, our certifications is also on par with other countries as well, in Australia, Canada, um, Singapore, China, and so on. So of course they can become an engineer later after the completions of their studies at APU in those countries. And of course, we have our business program. And to talk about business program, we have different types of specialism as well, like digital leadership, e-business, AI and business analytics, as well as business economics, which is kind of related to technology as well. But of course, students who are from business background, they do not need to learn much of programming, but they will learn about the AI system, and they will understand how to implement the AI system into their business strategies in future. And of course, we do have international business management as well. And of course, we have one specialism called supply chain management, which is related to logistic. So as you know, logistic nowadays is kind of popular as well. So that's why if you have any students who are interested in logistic and they would love to learn about AI infusion as well, yeah, APU will be the best university for them. Okay. And of course, we have our human resource management, and of course, with the specialism in people analytics. And of course, you will have the confusions like why there is a people analytics and the human resource management. Yes, it is really needed. Why? Because nowadays a lot of big companies that do not want to recruit the talents just like that. They do also need to understand what is the talent behavior, whether they are suited to the companies or not. So they will always go through, some of the uh, some of these analytics or some examinations to understand the talents well. Yeah. So that's why like what we heard about MBTI and so on. This is about people analytics. So the companies, they can understand you well, and they can also understand like which departments will be much more suitable to have the talents with them. And of course, we have our marketing management, also with the specialism in digital marketing. And of course, we have tourism management specialism in hospitality. And of course, we have another new program, which we call it as Bachelor of Science in Hospitality and Tourism, with a specialism in hospitality, innovations, events management, as well as aviation management. So I know you will also have some confusions like why that is tourism management as well as hospitality and tourism as well. Is because of hospitality and tourism, it is under Bachelor of Science. So you have to learn a little bit of statistics, a little bit of analytics. So you will know how to do a future strategy within your industry or maybe within your company itself. And of course, when we talk about HTMI, yes, it is something good to have it. Why? Because we know that HTMI is very, very famous uh in hospitality. Am I right? So that's why for those students who are studying Bachelor of Science in Hospitality and Tourism, they will also get the additional certificate from HTMI. So that's why if you ask me which will be suitable and which one will have more benefits? Of course, Bachelor of Science will be much more beneficial comparing to Bachelor of Arts. So when we talk about Bachelor of Arts, that is more focused on management skills. And of course, we have our School of Media International Relations as well as Psychology. So, which is more towards on communication side. Okay. Yeah. So we have Media and Communication Studies, International Relations, and Psychology. And of course, we have our accounting and finance, whereby we do also have different specialism like forensic accounting, forex and investment, as well as accounting technology. So we are also kind of working closely with ACCA, CIMA, CPA, ICAWs, and so on. So to talk about ACCA itself, our students, they can directly get 9 papers exemptions out of 13 papers, and the remaining 4 papers they can complete it within their degree itself as well, as we are offering ACCA accelerator scheme to them. Yeah, okay. Um, of course, for CIMA, that is, students is eligible to start the management level through the CGMA program, and of course, 6 papers exemptions out of 12 under CPA Australia, and so on. So, of course, when we talk about specialism in accounting and finance, I would say it's kind of useful nowadays as well as in future, especially when we talk about accounting technology. I'm not so sure whether in certain of the countries, whether you guys are very familiar with it, but in Malaysia, we are utilizing accounting technology a lot. That's why we have this e-invoicing starting last year. So to ensure that like everyone they can check the account easily. And even in Thailand as well, like for us as a tourist, if we are going to purchasing like, the souvenir and we can get the tax claim as well. Yeah, so basically that is accounting technology. Yeah. And of course, banking and finance, we have it for investment analytics as well as financial technology. And of course, we have actual studies, which is more towards on predict for the future. So we have in the specialism for data analytics as well as financial technology. And we are also working very closely with IFOA, Institute and Faculty of Actuaries from UK, Society of Actuaries, Casualty Actuaries Society from USA. And last but not least, for our undergraduate studies, we have our design and media, where we focus on industrial design, visual effects, animation, as well as digital advertising. So, to talk about industrial design, we have different as well, like, product design, transport design, furniture design, as well as sustainable design. And of course, we have our architecture as well, which is kind of popular nowadays within the youngsters. But our architecture is not more on engineering side of architecture. It is more towards on design, architecture design. All right. So yeah, the study progressions. So let's say if students, they are from IGCSE, they are from O levels, yes, they will need to start from foundation, diploma, or certificates. Okay. But of course, for Myanmar, qualifications, because I know that recently, the Myanmar matriculations is equivalent to grade 12. But of course, we do also accepting some of the students who graduated their matriculations before year 2024. So let's say if they graduated before year 2024, they still have to start from foundation, diploma, or certificate. Okay. But of course, if their matriculation is after year 2024, then yes, they can straight away go for bachelor degree. So other than Myanmar matriculations, we are also accepting Thai Medium 6, all right, for degree entry. For Vietnam, we are also accepting for their grade 12 high school. For Laos, for Cambodia, yes, grade 12 high school result is acceptable for degree entry. Okay, so aside of these high school qualifications, we are also accepting A levels, OSSD, IB diploma, American high school diploma, as well as GED for degree entry. Okay, except for engineering for GED qualifications that they are not able to direct entry for bachelor degree, they have to start from diploma. It's because of they do not study subjects for physics itself. So no matter how, they have to start from diploma level. And for American high school diploma, yes, we can accept it, but it must be recognized by one of these seven recognition bodies, like Advanced Cornea, um, WCEA, WASC, and so on, which their transcript and certificate will be. Yeah. So let's say if they are from Christian school and they are not recognized by one of these seven recognition bodies, I'm so sorry, we are not able to accept them for the studies at Malaysia. And of course, we are accepting BTech International Level 3 because it is equivalent to A levels. So, but we are only accepting diploma, which is 720 credit hours, as well as a standard diploma, which is 1080 credit hours for bachelor entry. But it is not for final year because BTech International Level 3 is equivalent to A levels. Okay. And even though if students they are holding H&D diploma level 4, level 5, NCC diploma level 4, level 5, ABE diploma level 4 and level 5, OTHM, ATHE diploma level 4, level 5, they are not able to do their final year studies at APU. Not only APU, even though for all the institutions in Malaysia, because this is the requirement from our Malaysia Qualification Agency, as our studies are only 3 years, all right, for bachelor degree. And of course, with the MQA requirement, students must complete at least 70% of their studies in Malaysia. So definitely for final year studies is impossible. They have to start from first year studies with some credit assumptions. Okay, so if they are okay with doing a credit assumptions, they have to provide the cost syllabus as well, so we can do the cost mapping accordingly from there. So this is how we do it for the credit assumptions, all right, with HND diploma level 4 and level 5. So like for these students itself, he can only get uh 6 modules assumptions, and the remaining subjects has to be completed before entering to the second year of the degree. All right, for business program. And this is for IT program itself as well. And students only able to get 4 modules assumptions. So the remaining students will still have to uh, complete it and pass it before entering to the second year of the degree. And of course, we are not accepting any of the studies less than 2 years or foundation studies less than 1 year, because for our foundations, it is 50 credit hours equivalent to 1 year. And for diploma, it is definitely 2 years of the studies. So I do understand that I mean, some of you have been uh working with universities in overseas, which their diploma as well as foundation studies are lesser than 2 years or 1 year. So they can't do any credit transfer to APU. They will still have to start from foundation or diploma if based on their qualifications. Okay. And of course, we are not accepting the studies which are equivalent, like, uh, the Christian high school diploma, but not recognized as American high school diploma. We cannot accept the students which consider as equivalent. No. Okay. So yeah, that is about our undergraduate studies. And of course, we are also offering postgraduate studies. So we have master in software engineering, digital transformations, AI, cybersecurity, data science, and business analytics. And even though we have MBA as well, and some of the programs, yes, we are offering online learning. So let's say if you have any of the applications which they wish to do in their home countries, okay, so they can just take up our online studies. All right. But of course, when we talk about our online studies, the time zone will be following Malaysia time zone. So let's say if any of the subjects requires for online studies, then of course they will need to uh, join the classes based on the Malaysia time zone. Okay, so of course we have Master of Science in Digital Communications. We have Master of Science in Digital Marketing, Project Management, Finance with FinTech, of course, design innovation management, and we have actuarial studies as well as Master of Educations in Learning Design and Technology. So of course we do have programs for uh PhD as well, which is fully 100% research based. But of course, if students are not interested in 100% research based, that's fine. We have Doctor of Business Administration, TPA. So that is there are some of the qualification is required to have the IELTS as well. I mean to meet up the English requirements. Okay, such as when we talk about the high school studies from Thailand, from Vietnam, from Cambodia, as well as from Laos. Yes, oh, of course from Myanmar. Students will need to provide the English certifications as well, which is from IELTS, from TOEFL, from Lingua Skills, or perhaps from the Pearson PT. All right. So unless if they are graduated from American High School Diploma, OSSD, A levels, O levels, IGCSE, yes, they do not require to fulfill the English requirements. But of course, we do also realize, some of the students who are graduated from A levels or perhaps from IGCSE, they have failed their English. Okay. With those cases, yes, they are still eligible to join us, but they have to add on the English certificate to us as well, like IELTS, TOEFL, and so on, because we need students to have at least a pass in their O levels and A levels for the English subjects. If they could not fulfill the requirement, I'm so sorry, they have to start from, I mean, they have to provide us the IELTS, TOEFL, or Lingua Skills result. Okay, so if they have passed it, then of course they are free on this English requirement. And of course, when we talk about the education itself, we are also approaching our students and nurturing them to more professionals so they can really, to be equipped well in the future. So that's why we need to ensure the students they are more competency with the professional attitudes and values, and they can really uh be a leader in the team. Yeah, and they have a good teamwork skills as well. And of course, last but not least, to have a good communication skills. So, starting from their first day of the study until the end of their studies in APU, they will have to do a lot of presentations. Okay, so this is why we want to developing our industry-ready talent to the industry itself. So that's why you can see we always get our ministry to visit the university. Like last year, we have our Minister of Investment, Trade and Industry, Tengku Dato Seri Zafrul Abdul Aziz, into the campus and to know more about the universities as well as our students. Yeah, so this is also one of the way to get him to understand that how are we going to nurturing our students to be more professionals, to be more global careers as well. And of course, we do have our career center department. So to connect, to profile, to expose, and of course, to match our students into different industry partners. So that's why we are always organizing the workshops, seminars, not only for online, even though for physical as well. And we are also organizing the mega career fair for our students every year. So that's why you can see we have around 125 exhibitors every year. And there will be over 10,000 of total opportunities available for our students as well. Not only for Malaysian students, even though for our international students. So that's why you can see the statistic over here. They are providing like around 5,000 plus for full-time opportunities and 4,800 for internship opportunities. And of course, APU, we are also one of the award-winning university as well. And studying And since last year, we have won around 268 awards, uh, not only from the students as well as from our lecturers as well. And you can see, even though our students, they win for the James Dyson Award, and even though for the recent awards, they are from Google, from Intel, AWS, Microsoft, Shell, Cisco's, and so on. That's why the result came out with 100% employability, and we are also the only universities with the highest paid graduates in Malaysia as well. And of course, we have our student welcome, student ambassadors, to be ready for our newcomers, new joiners as well, so that our new students, they will not feel alone, they will not feel lonely, definitely. Yeah, so our students ambassadors will always be there for them. And of course, we were organizing the International Cultural Night every year as well. And this is how it looks like. Yeah. So that's why we are also rated number one in Asia, Malaysia for the multicultural learning experience. So yeah, the last but not least, the cost of studying in APU. So I would say the cost of studying at APU will be around 7,000 up to 10,000 plus, depending on which program that students applied in the university. And the cost of living in Malaysia, including accommodation, it is around $400 to $500 per month. And we are also offering the scholarship for O levels, A levels, international baccalaureate, as well as master program. And also we are offering the scholarship for Myanmar qualifications as well as a Vietnam qualification. And we are also offering the scholarship for GED students as well. Yeah, so that's all from my side. Do you guys have any questions?
Thanks, Caster. Okay, I think any questions, anyone? Anything that you need clarification, need to know about? Mm, okay, I think we need to know about. I think we got a question here. How can we take the MUET for English requirement?
Okay, one is the English requirement, I mean English qualification in Malaysia. So let's say if any of the students, they would like to take the English uh examinations, I mean WET in Malaysia, they can do so as well. But the thing is, the applications were only available 2 times per year. So that's why we do not advise students to take up WET. It would be better to go for, IELTS, TOEFL, Lingua Skill, which is available every week.
Okay, may I know the Myanmar matriculation requirement for the bachelor degree program?
Okay. We are only looking at two subjects. Okay, two subjects with uh 50% and above. But of course, it depending on which program they are going to apply. So let's say if you talk about computing related, we definitely have to look at physics and mathematics. As well as engineering, we are also looking at physics and mathematics. If you talk about like accounting, yes, mathematics are kind of important. So that's why, of course, different programs, the requirement will be different as well. But definitely the minimum will be looking at two subjects. If they completed their Myanmar matriculation qualification after year 2024 for bachelor degree entry.
Okay, sure. Any other questions? Does APU accept Duolingo as an English proficiency?
No, this is not acceptable in Malaysia as well. Uh, so let's say if it is acceptable within Malaysia, within MQA, within EMGS, definitely we can accept Duolingo, but they do not accept it, so we can't accept it.
Yeah, because I think it's not just APU. When it comes to Malaysia in general, they just don't accept Duolingo, unfortunately. Okay,
Exactly.
any other
Mm.
questions? Mhm. So how about is it all right? You can remind me about the scholarships available for GED students again?
Okay, we are looking at the overall. So let's say overall with 680 out of 800, students can get 10% discount. If it is 720 out of 800, students can get 20% discount. Just for your information, the scholarship is not only for 1 year, it's for the total duration of their studies at APU. But they have to maintain the CGPA of 2.5 every year, so they can maintain the scholarship until the completions of their studies at APU. Uh, I think the students is there is one asking about the transfer program.
The transfer program, yeah.
Yes, we have the transfer program, but not for every of the program, and not for every of the program, and not all the countries that we are doing for the credit transfer. So let's say if you talk about the countries that we process with transfer program, it is only applicable for UK and Australia, as well as Ireland. So if you talk about UK, yes, you can do 2+1 and 1+2. If you talk about Ireland, yes, it is also available for 1+2 and 2+1. But of course, if you talk about Australia, it is only available for 1+2, which means 1 year at APU, 2 years in overseas. Yeah.
All right, no problem. Mm, I mean, regardless, even let's say example, if you send students to APU, and then after let's say after they completed the diploma or just say a 1 year of degree, they can actually still inquire back with the agent if they wanted to apply for direct entry to the UK. That one's no issue. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Because we are not working with all the UK, Australia, or Ireland universities and institutions. Only
Yes.
certain, yeah. So let's say if any of the students would like to do their credit transfer, which the universities is not under APU list, but they can always refer back to agency as well.
Sure, no problem. Which I think is also very good. Sometimes they keep in contact with the students. Okay, I think we've got time for one more question, guys. Not to worry. Let's say if you have any other questions, please feel free to, because I worked Castle for quite some time already. She's very supportive. And yeah. And actually, hmm, I see. So I'm just gonna see what other question. I think we got time for one more question. Anyone? Last question, last call. Then after this webinar, we'll have one or two applications coming in, which is gonna be very good.
I think we can emphasize on the English requirement. Yeah, because I do understand that, some of the students, they do not want to do their English examinations in their home country, and they prefer to do it in Malaysia. That is pro and cons. Okay. Why I would say, of course, cons will be more than pros. Okay. Why do I say so? It's because of like for example, when we talk about IELTS or TOEFL, or even though for lingual skill, different countries, the marking system level and the standards will be different as well. And I realized that, in Malaysia, the marking system will be slightly harder, uh harder to get a good result. And a lot of students, they may not able to pass the requirement. So that's why we always emphasize on this. Let's say if students is required to do IELTS, TOEFL, or lingual skill, better to do it in the home country, because it is much easier to score it.
I see.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of English program, I think I'm just also another curiosity that on the account that you also offer your own English package programs as well.
Yes.
Can they be packaged in any program or only like specific programs?
Okay. The thing is, for our English program, right? It can't replace to the IELTS, TOEFL, and whatsoever. No. So in other words, after these English studies, you still have to process with the IELTS, lingua skills, TOEFL before joining the
Mm.
program.
I see. So
So
let's say
that's why,
example, if I want to apply a student visa, you have to be the English program on its own.
okay, that's a bit tricky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not for all the programs. It is only available for diploma as well as bachelor degree. But even though this is also uh tricky as well. Why do I say so? Because some of the students they may not be able to fulfill the requirement and they have to delay their intakes until 1 year only they are able to get a good result. But
Okay.
of course, when you delay for 1 year, you are not eligible to renew your visa.
Mm.
So, which
Okay.
means you have to, you can't study in Malaysia anymore if you delay it. So that's why to save everyone's time, including the students' time, better to do it before they arrive to Malaysia.
Mhm. Okay,
Mm.
that's fair enough. Okay, sure, no problem. Okay, I think there's one more question. Oh, does APU offer on-campus accommodation?
Yes, yes, we have on-campus accommodation. But yeah, to talk about on-campus accommodations, it is first come, first served basis. Yeah, and I think I have also shared the link to Yes Education as well. So let's say if the student's visa reaches to 35%, so you can click on the link given and to fill in the informations to book the accommodation. Because our accommodation, I would say it is always fully occupied, especially when students insisted to join for September intake. So, the application must start 3 months before the intake starts. So at least, they are on time to get the accommodations, they are on time to get their visa approval letter and so on.
Okay, no problem. Um, right. I think any more questions, anyone? Okay, I think we can wrap up the session here. Thanks again, Kester. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. All the best and have a great week ahead, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.